seen it, but I don't know if you've seen, there's these great public service announcements that fight bullying against gay teens, and the one that was released last Wednesday really caught my eye.
Bullying has led to an epidemic of LGBT teen suicides.
What's convincing these kids that things won't get better?
Look around.
Our political and religious leaders tell LGBT youth that they have no future. They can't serve our country openly.
Oh my God, that was Cindy McCain. That was John McCain's ridiculously hot lady friend. And it sounds like she's refuting Senator McCain's stance on Don't Ask, Don't Tell, the ban on gays serving openly in the military. Not that John McCain is completely closed-minded on the subject.
The day that the leadership of the military comes to me and says, Senator, we ought to change the policy, then I think we ought to consider seriously changing it.
Absolutely. For 10 years, the Straight Talk Express has just been waiting for a cue from military leadership to become just the Express. And then last spring,
the President announced he will work with Congress this year to repeal the law known as Don't Ask, Don't Tell. I fully support the President's decision.
Allowing gays and lesbians to serve openly would be the right thing to do.
that looked a lot like the military leadership.
Admiral Mullen was, as quote, speaking personally. Just this week, Commandant of the Marine Corps said that he did not want Don't Ask, Don't Tell repealed.
Yeah, so, I mean, you got General Gates and Mullen, but, you know, what about General Half-Track or Grievous or Lee? Still, Senator McCain, that's a pretty big lineup of military leadership. Time to start thinking about repeal, right? Unless there's another criterion you need to satisfy you.
We are going to go through, hopefully, a year-long study that will hopefully also have the feelings of the men and women who are serving.
Ah, right. The military leadership and a study. It's the Maverick way. Spend a year studying whether soldiers deserve full civil rights and a half an hour deciding who will be your presidential running mate. All right. Oh, but wait. It's all about priorities. But wait. McCain said that he wanted to do that study almost a year ago, and it's been almost a year.
The Pentagon study on Don't Ask, Don't Tell shows that more than 70% of people in the military think that it would be okay to end the policy.
So, McCain, I guess we're good now.
I will listen, as I've said for years, to our military leaders, and not a study that is leaked.
But the leadership already, and then
Once we get this study, we need to have hearings, and we need to examine it, and we need to look at whether it's the kind of study that we wanted.
You were there when they proposed the study. You were sitting in the room with them. What kind of study did you want?
I wanted a study to determine the effects of the repeal on battle effectiveness and morale.
That was the title of the study. As for Cindy McCain, her PSA came out last Wednesday, and it took her all the way until Friday to declare at Twitter that she, while supporting the No Hate campaign, also stands by her husband's stance on Don't Ask, Don't Tell. Because she's against what Don't Ask, Don't Tell does, but she's for Don't Ask, Don't Tell. Boy, no wonder they have so many houses. They need them to keep all their different beliefs in them. Honey, where's my immigration policy?
The path to citizenship one is in Palm Springs.
Nah, to finish the dang wall one.
You left it at the beach house.
You know, as I see John McCain doing anything to keep Don't Ask, Don't Tell from being repealed, it's hard not to remember it gets worse.
Hello, Senator McCain. We know you're going through a tough time with this Don't Ask, Don't Tell thing.
But trust us,
It gets worse.
seriously, it's all downhill from here. The head of the military doesn't even agree with you.
Your own wife doesn't agree with you.
Your own wife? Holy
She's very attractive, but that is irrelevant to this discussion.
But it gets worse.
Because sooner or later, gay people are going to wind up serving.
And then 20 years later, they'll make the documentary about it.
And you know how every documentary about some big social change has a bad guy?
The guy who fought it tooth and nail long after it was obvious to everyone else what needed to be done. You know, the George Wallace character. That's gonna be you.
Saying stuff like,
Black people don't belong in a white man's military. Or,
I have no problem with Catholics.
I just don't want one in the White House taking orders on a special Pope phone to Rome. Or,
a lady astronaut. But what about the Gazangas? Won't they get in the way? That'll be you. And the narrator will say something like,
Senator John McCain fought the move every step of the way, using increasingly obvious stalling tactics.
although they'll probably pick someone with a better voice than John's.
Yeah, you know what, White? You can go yourself.
I'm just saying,
Anyway, it'll be part of your legacy.
it gets worse.
It does get worse.
It gets worser.
You have no idea how much worse it gets.
We'll be right back.